The corridor smells like bleach and old coffee, like somebody tried to scrub fear off the walls and gave up halfway. My phone won't stop trembling in my hand because my hand won't stop trembling. The little plastic bracelet around my wrist itches where sweat has gathered, and the monitor behind the door keeps doing that steady, cruel beep, 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 like it's counting down to something I can't see. A message flashes on my screen from a number I don't know. Ask him about the charity fund. He used your name. My throat tightens so fast it feels like I swallowed a fist. I just ended everything with Evan. I told myself I was choosing decency, choosing my husband, choosing my child. I lift my eyes to the small glass window in the door. Matthew's eyes are open. Not sleepy open, not confused open, watching open. And then the nurse steps between us, her face all business, and says, "Ma'am, he requested no visitors, specifically you." The nurse doesn't look mean when she says it. That's the worst part. She says it like she's telling me the cafeteria is closed. My lips part anyway, like a reflex, like I'm still somebody in this building besides a name on a visitor log. Specifically, me? My voice comes out thin, dry. She checks her clipboard. The paper rustles. The sound slices right through the beeping on the other side of the door. "That's what he wrote. I'm sorry." Sorry. My stomach tightens hard enough that I have to shift my weight, one foot to the other, because I'm suddenly afraid I'll throw up on these polished floors. My palms are wet. The phone feels slick, like it wants to slide out of my hand and shatter, and some petty part of me thinks, good, let it break. Let something break. That isn't me. Behind the glass, Matthew's eyes don't blink. He's always been good at watching people, at watching me, like I'm a problem he's already halfway solved. A year ago, I would have pushed past her. I would have said, wife, 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 like it's a badge that opens every door. I would have squeezed his hand and ignored how his fingers always went cold when mine were warm. I would have told myself, love is quiet now. Love is patience. Love is showing up when it's hard, but the message is still bright on my screen, burned into my eyes. Ask him about the charity fund. He used your name, my name. My name is on my child's birth certificate. My name is on the little lunchbox I pack every morning. My name is on the lease I signed when Matthew said, "Don't worry, I'll handle the money, like money is a sharp object only he should touch." My name is not something you wear and take off. I swallow and it scratches going down. My throat feels lined with sand. 3 days ago, I sat in Evan's car in a parking lot that smelled like rain and exhaust and cheap fries. The windows fogged from our breath. We didn't even touch. We just existed in the same warm space, and I let myself pretend I wasn't a caregiver, a bill payer, a woman who's always apologizing. Evan said my name like it mattered, like I wasn't just Matthew's wife, and I told him it was over. I said it calmly, too. That's what keeps replaying in my head over and over, like my mind is trying to find the moment where the universe decided to punish me. "I have to go home," I told him. "He's getting worse. My baby needs me. I need to be decent." Evan stared at the steering wheel so long I thought he might cry. He didn't. He just nodded once like he'd expected it all along, like people like me always come back to the person who owns the paperwork. Now I'm standing here with the taste of that choice still in my mouth, bitter and metallic, and someone I don't know is telling me Matthew used my name. I thumb the screen and type with fingers that don't feel like mine. Who is this? The reply comes so fast it makes my heart kick. Someone he already shut down once. My chest goes tight. Not panic. Not yet. Something colder. Something that creeps up the back of my neck and makes the tiny hairs lift. The nurse clears her throat. "Ma'am, do you need a seat?" I look at the door again, at Matthew's open eyes. No. I need a way out. And a way in. The nurse keeps talking. Something about a waiting room, something about policy, but her words slide off me like water off a plastic sheet. My eyes stay on Matthew. On the way, his gaze holds mine through that little square of glass like we're still married in the way that matters. Like he's still allowed inside my skin. I force myself to move. One step, then another. My shoes squeak against the floor, and each squeak feels too loud, like the building is recording me. Like it's going to play me back later and say, look, here she is. The wife, the liar, the thief, Pick one. We'll decide. I duck into the nearest restroom because my body needs somewhere to put the panic. The fluorescent lights buzz, the mirror is spotted. I grip the sink hard enough that my knuckles turn pale and I stare at my own face like it's a stranger's. My cheeks look hollow. My eyes look guilty. It's not even fair. Guilt has a look. It sits on your face and tells on you before you open your mouth. I read the message again. Ask him about the charity fund. He used your name, someone he already shut down once. My thumb hovers over the keyboard. My heart thuds in my throat, in my wrists, in the soft part of my belly that still aches sometimes when I lift my child too fast. I type. What did he use my name for? No reply. Of course. Of course the world can drop a bomb into your lap and then go quiet like it's waiting to see if you'll bleed. I breathe in. It smells like soap that doesn't quite cover the smell underneath it. I breathe out, dut, and it shakes. I press my fingers to my lips and feel them trembling. Then, I do what I've learned to do for the last 2 years. I pull myself together, because nobody else is going to. When I step back into the hallway, the air feels colder, or maybe my skin is just too hot. My phone buzzes again, this time, not the unknown number. Nina, you okay? I saw you walk past. You looked white. Nina is my best friend in the way only someone can be when they've watched you cry on your own kitchen floor and didn't make it weird. She's been there since before the accident, before the illness, before my life got split into before and after. She works in the hospital's billing office, which means she knows everyone's secrets, even if she doesn't mean to. I text back with fingers that feel stiff. Not okay. Can you meet me? Now. 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. Where? I glance around and pick a corner where the vending machines hum, where the smell of chips and stale chocolate feels almost normal. Vending machines. 2 minutes. I don't realize I'm holding my breath until Nina shows up. She comes fast, hair pulled into a messy bun, cardigan half buttoned like she ran out the door mid-thought. Her eyes scan my face and I watch her go still in a way that makes my stomach twist. What happened? She asks. Low, like the hospital has ears. I show her the messages. Her eyebrows pull together. She reads it once. Twice. Her mouth tightens. Charity fund? She repeats. Matthew's charity? His charity. The words come out sharp, bitter. He calls it that, like it's a saint thing, like he's saving people. Nina looks down the hallway toward Matthew's room, like she expects him to appear and smile and make her feel small. He's been doing those fundraiser posts online for months, she says. You know that. I thought it was for his treatment. My throat burns. I stop because I can't say for us without sounding stupid. Nina's gaze returns to me. What do you mean he requested no visitors? From you? I feel my face flush hot. Shame comes so fast it's physical. The nurse said, specifically me. Nina makes a sound under her breath. Not quite a curse, not quite a prayer. That's not normal. Nothing is normal, I whisper, and I hate how small my voice sounds. Nina reaches out and grips my forearm, steady and warm. Listen, don't go running into his room. Don't start yelling. Not here. I swallow hard. I wasn't going to yell. She gives me a look that says, sure, because you're not a person with a pulse. I try to steady myself by thinking of something else, something simple, like the weight of my child's head on my shoulder when they fall asleep, the way their hair smells like shampoo and milk, the way they call me mama like it's the safest word in the world. And then guilt slices through that softness because my child doesn't know I was in another man's car 3 nights ago. My child doesn't know I chose comfort for myself for a while. My child doesn't know anything, except I'm tired, and sometimes my smile looks like it hurts. I blink fast. I ended it, I say, like a confession, like a plea. Nina's grip doesn't loosen. Ended what? My cheeks go hotter. I hate myself for the heat. I hate my body for reacting like I'm still trying to hide. My affair, I say. The word tastes like metal, like blood, even though there's none. With Evan, Nina's eyes don't widen. She doesn't gasp. That's almost worse because it means she already suspected. She just exhales, slowly, like she's been carrying a weight too. Okay, she says. Okay. And now this message shows up. I came back, I whisper. I came back to do the right thing. I walked in with his clean clothes and a stupid blanket, Nina. I rehearsed what I was going to say. I was going to apologize for everything. I was going to be the good wife again. And he blocked you? Her tone is flat now, protective, angry. He watched me. My stomach clenches when I say it. His eyes were open. He was watching me like he knew something. Nina's jaw tightens. He always knows something, or he wants people to think he does. That's Matthew. Even sick, he's a man who fills up a room. Before the accident, he could walk into a family gathering, and within 10 minutes he'd have everyone laughing, everyone leaning toward him. He'd tell stories that made him sound like a hero, like a victim, like a genius, sometimes all three in one sentence. He'd squeeze my shoulder in public and call me his rock, and people would coo like I was lucky. At home, the air changed. The silence had weight. He'd be cold in these small, precise ways. He'd ask questions like he already knew the answers. He'd correct me in front of our child with that calm voice that made it sound like I was the one being unreasonable. After the accident, he got worse in a different way. Less energy, but sharper edges. He started keeping the mail in his drawer. He started taking calls outside. He started talking about money like it was a secret language only he spoke. Don't worry, he would say. I'll handle it. I used to think that meant he loved me enough to carry the hard stuff. Now I wonder if it meant, I'll handle you. Nina tilts her head. Show me the screenshot, she says, the one you said was attached. I scroll back and my pulse stutters when I see it again. A document, my name typed in clean letters, organizer, primary contact. There's a signature at the bottom that looks like my signature if someone traced it while looking in a mirror. My fingers go numb. That's not, I start. I know, Nina says immediately. That's not yours. But it looks like it, I whisper. If someone wanted to believe it, it looks like it. Nina's eyes flick over the details, quick and practiced. What's the date on this? I lean in. My breath fogs the screen. 2 months ago. My skin prickles. 2 months ago, Matthew told me he needed me to sign something for insurance. I remember because our child had a fever and I was standing in the kitchen in my pajamas, holding a squirming little body on my hip. Matthew slid papers across the counter, tapped where he wanted me to sign, and said, "Just here." I already read it. I remember the pen. I remember how my hand shook because our child was heavy and crying, and my mind was splitting in 5 directions. I signed. I didn't read. The memory makes my stomach turn. I taste bile at the back of my throat. Nina sees it on my face. "Hey," she says softly, and it breaks something in me. "Hey, look at me." I look at her, and my eyes sting. "Whatever this is," she says, "we deal with it. But you cannot panic in public, not with Matthew, not with his family, not with—" She pauses, glancing down the hallway. "Not with the people who love his charity." As if summoned, footsteps approach. I don't have to turn my head to know that sound. Matthew's sister, Laura, walks like she owns every space she steps into. Fast, clean, heels that click like punctuation. She appears in my peripheral and stops with a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. "There you are," she says, voice sugary. "We've been looking for you." My spine stiffens. Nina's hand drops from my arm, but she shifts closer, shoulder almost touching mine. Laura's gaze skims over Nina like she's furniture, then locks on me. "Matthew's been through so much," she says. "The least we can do is keep things calm for him, right?" Calm. That word has followed me like a leash. Be calm. Don't upset him. Don't stress him. Don't make it worse. I keep my face still. My nails bite into my palm. "How is he?" I ask. Laura sighs theatrically. Tired. Emotional. Confused. Her eyes narrow a fraction. "He asked for family only." My heartbeat thumps once, hard. Family only, like I'm not. Like my body didn't carry his child. Like my hands haven't washed his sweat-stained sheets, counted his pills, driven him to appointments, sat beside him through nights when he moaned in his sleep. I lift my chin. I'm his wife. Laura's smile twitches. Yes, of course, but you've been overwhelmed. She says it like a diagnosis, like she's doing me a favor. You've made some choices, and right now, the focus needs to be Matthew. The way she says choices makes my face go hot all over again. Does she know? My mind races. Did Matthew tell her? Did Evan? Did someone see, or is it something else? Something money-shaped, paper-shaped, like this screenshot? Nina speaks up, voice polite but firm. Laura, she just got here. She hasn't even been updated properly. Laura's eyes sharpen. And you are? Nina doesn't flinch. Someone who doesn't like seeing a mother blindsided in a hallway. Mother. The word lands like an anchor. I cling to it inside myself. I'm not just a wife. I'm not just Matthew's shadow. I'm a mother. I'm a person. Laura looks me over again, slower this time, and I feel like she's peeling layers off with her eyes. Matthew doesn't want drama, she says, so please, don't make this harder. I almost laugh. The sound rises in my chest, ugly and shocked, but I crush it down. My throat feels tight enough to snap. I'm not here to make anything harder, I say. I'm here because he's my husband. Laura leans in slightly, lowering her voice. Then act like it. She turns and walks away, heels clicking, leaving behind the scent of expensive perfume that makes my head ache. Nina exhales like she's been holding her breath. Okay, she murmurs, so they're circling? Circling what? My voice comes out rough. Nina's gaze drops to my phone again. Money, she says, power, control, whatever Matthew's been building with that charity image. My phone buzzes in my hand, and the vibration shoots up my arm like electricity. A call. Unknown number. My mouth goes dry. I stare at the screen like it might bite me. Nina's eyes widen. Answer it, she whispers. Put it on speaker. My thumb slides. The click feels loud in my skull. Hello? For a second, there's only breathing. Not mine, someone else's. Slow. Controlled. Then a voice. Low. Careful, like it's choosing each word. You don't know me, the voice says, but you need to listen. He's been using you. My skin goes cold, goosebumps rising fast on my arms. Using me for what? I manage. A pause. I hear a distant sound on their end, traffic maybe, or a TV, life going on somewhere else. For cover, the voice says, for paperwork, for sympathy, for money. My heart slams once, so hard it hurts. The voice continues, softer now, almost regretful. He thinks you'll take the fall. He's been saying it for months. I open my mouth to speak, but before I can, the call ends. Dead air. I stare at my phone, the screen suddenly blank, and I feel like the floor moved under me, like the hospital tilted just a little. Nina swears under her breath. That's real, she says. That didn't sound like a prank. My tongue feels thick. He thinks I'll take the fall, I whisper, and the words make my stomach twist because they fit too perfectly, too neatly into the shape of my life. I picture Matthew's calm face, his open eyes, his watching. I picture the papers I signed without reading, the fundraiser posts with my smiling family photo attached like proof of goodness. I picture Laura's voice, choices. My hands start shaking again, harder this time. Not just fear, rage, a hot, buzzing anger that spreads under my skin like a rash. Because I did choose something wrong. I chose comfort with Evan. I chose silence too many times. I chose to trust a man who told me he'd handle everything. But I did not choose to be framed. I did not choose to be someone's shield. And somewhere down the hall, behind a door I'm not allowed to open, my husband is awake enough to watch me fall. The hallway feels too bright after that call, like the lights are aimed right at my face. I stare at the ended screen until it times out and goes dark, and for a second my reflection floats there. Pale oval, wide eyes, like the phone is holding up a tiny coffin lid to show me what I look like when I'm cornered. Nina touches my elbow. Come on, she says, soft but urgent. Let's get you somewhere quieter. I let her guide me into a small alcove near a supply closet. The air changes immediately. Less perfume, less cafeteria grease, more paper and dust. I can hear my own breathing, uneven and too loud. My hands won't stop shaking. I press my fingers together until the nails dig into skin. Pain is a good anchor. It reminds me I'm still in my body. They said, "He thinks I'll take the fall," I whisper, like repeating it will make it less real. Nina's mouth is tight. "Matthew's been running that fundraiser like a business," she says, "but it's always fuzzy. Where it goes, how it's used." "His treatments," I say automatically, the old script rising to my tongue. "The appointments, the medications, some of it, sure," Nina cuts in, "but he's been creative. Creative." My stomach turns again. That word doesn't belong to hospitals and bills. It belongs to men who smile while they're lying. I try to picture what taking the fall even looks like. A police station, a cold room, someone asking me why my name is on bank documents, someone looking at me like I'm not a mother, not a person, just a headline. Wife scams community. My throat closes, I swallow, and it feels like swallowing a rock. I unlock my phone and scroll back to the screenshot. My name, organizer, primary contact, the fake signature. Could he really do that? I ask, but I already know the answer. He can do anything if it keeps his image clean. Nina leans closer, scanning the screenshot again. "This has account details," she murmurs, "and it's tied to that online fundraiser platform, the one he's been posting." I stare at the numbers like they're a foreign language. My mind flickers through memories of Matthew sitting at the dining table with his laptop, the blue glow on his face saying, "I'm updating donors," while our child crawled on the floor and I washed dishes with raw, cracked hands. He always angled the screen away from me. I thought it was privacy. Now it feels like evidence. My phone buzzes. A new notification. My heart jumps so hard it hurts. A sound file from the unknown number, no text, just an audio clip. My fingers hover over it. I'm suddenly terrified that if I press play, something will crawl out of the speaker and wrap around my throat. Nina's eyes are on me, steady. "Play it," she says. I press it. At first it's muffled, like someone recorded it through a pocket. Then a familiar voice cuts through, Matthew's voice, low and smooth with that little chuckle he does when he thinks he's clever. "She'll take the fall," he says. A pause. A rustle. "She always does." My vision tunnels. The hospital doesn't feel real anymore. The walls stretch. The sounds get far away, like I'm underwater. My stomach flips hard. My skin goes cold and hot at the same time. My chest tightens until I have to gasp. Nina grabs my wrist. "Breathe," she says, and her voice is the only solid thing. I breathe. It's shallow. It tastes like disinfectant. "She always does," I whisper, because my brain can't let go of it. Because it's not just a threat. It's a summary. It's what he thinks of me. A woman who absorbs damage so he doesn't have to. Memories flash, sharp and unwanted. The time he forgot to pay the electricity bill and blamed me for not reminding him, even though he kept the accounts. The time his mother said I'd let myself go after the baby and he didn't defend me. He just smiled like it was true. The time he snapped at me for buying the wrong brand of diapers and then later told people laughing, "She's trying her best." And I always swallowed it. I always smoothed it over. I always carried the embarrassment so he could keep being the nice guy. My stomach churns like it's trying to empty my whole life through my throat. Nina pauses the audio. Her face is hard now. "Okay," she says. "That's serious." I want to scream. Instead, my voice comes out small and shredded. He said it like it's normal. "It is normal to him," Nina replies, blunt. "He's been doing it for years." I press my free hand to my chest, right over my heart, like I can hold it in place. It's pounding so hard it feels bruised. "I need to talk to him," I say. "I need to look him in the face and ask him what the hell." Nina's grip tightens. "No," she says, sharp. "Not alone. Not emotional. He'll twist it." "He's my husband," I snap. The words come out too loud, and I instantly hate myself because I hear how desperate it sounds. Like I'm clinging to the title because I have nothing else to hold. Nina's gaze softens for half a second. "Exactly," she says quietly. "He knows you. He knows which buttons to press." My phone buzzes again. This time it's an email notification, one of those generic subject lines that usually go straight to spam. Donation receipt. My scalp prickles. I open it. A receipt for a donation, a large one. The donor name is someone I recognize from our town, someone who posts Bible verses and photos of charity dinners. The organizer is listed as me. My stomach drops so hard it feels like the floor falls away. I didn't, I whisper. Nina snatches the phone gently, eyes scanning fast. This is bad, she mutters. This is really bad. My legs feel weak. I lean back against the wall. The paint is cool through my thin blouse. Why would he do this now? I ask, voice shaking. Why would he shut me out now when I'm here? Nina's eyes flick up. Because you came back, she says, and whatever he thought you were doing while you were gone, maybe he's trying to get ahead of it. My throat tightens. You think he knows about Evan? Nina doesn't answer immediately, and the silence is its own answer. Heat floods my face. Not the warm kind, the humiliating kind. I was careful, I whisper, like that matters. Like betrayal is okay if it's hidden. Nina exhales through her nose. Matthew doesn't need proof, she says. He needs a story. A story, that's what he's always had. He's always been the narrator, the hero, the victim, the provider, the sick man, bravely fighting with a devoted wife at his side. And if that wife steps out of line, he writes her into the story as the villain. My phone buzzes again, a text this time, from Matthew. My blood runs cold. I open it with shaking fingers. Where are you? 2 words. No heart. No please. No I need you. Just control wrapped in normal punctuation. Nina watches my face. Don't answer, she says immediately. My thumbs hover anyway. My body wants to obey him like a trained animal. I hate that. I type slowly. I'm at the hospital. I tried to see you. The response comes fast. I asked for family only. Stop making this about you. My vision blurs with tears I didn't invite. I blink them back hard. My nose burns. I type again. Before I can stop myself, I got a message. About a charity fund. About my name. There's a long pause. The typing dots appear. Disappear. Appear again. My stomach twists tighter with each second. Finally, you've been under a lot of stress. We'll talk when you're calm. My hands go numb. The words are so familiar. The way he always puts the problem in my body, my stress, my emotions, my instability, not his actions, not his lies. Nina leans closer. He's setting the stage, she whispers. My phone buzzes. Another text from Matthew. And please don't bring Nina into this. She doesn't need to hear things that will upset her. A chill runs up my spine. My eyes flick to Nina. How does he know I'm with you? I whisper. Nina's face tightens. He has people, she says. Or he guessed. He knows you run to me when you're scared. My throat tightens. I hate that he knows me like that. I hate that I'm predictable in a way that makes me easy to trap. We're still standing there, trying to breathe, when a man in a badge lanyard approaches. Not a doctor, not a nurse. He looks like administration. Neat hair, pressed shirt, polite smile that doesn't touch his eyes. Ma'am, he says, and my skin prickles because he's looking at me like he already decided what I am. I straighten automatically, shoulders back like posture can protect me. Yes? He glances down at a tablet. I'm with Patient Services, he says. We need to ask you a few questions about a fundraiser connected to your household. My heart stops for 1 sick second, then starts again too fast. Nina steps forward. Who exactly are you? She asks, voice clipped. And why is Patient Services questioning her in a hallway? He smiles like she's being difficult. It's routine, he says. We received inquiries. Some discrepancies. Discrepancies. The word lands like a verdict. I feel sweat gather at the base of my neck. My mouth goes dry. I taste the sharpness of fear on my tongue. I don't know anything about discrepancies, I say, and my voice wobbles despite my efforts. My husband handled the fundraiser. He looks up from the tablet, and in that tiny pause, I can feel my life balancing on the edge of something. Your name is listed as the organizer. he says. His tone stays polite, but there's a tightness underneath. That's why we need to speak with you. My knees go weak. I press my back harder into the wall. Nina's hand slides behind me, steadying without making it obvious. She's not answering anything without clarity, Nina says, and not here. The man's polite smile returns, thinner. Of course, he says. We can find a private room. My phone buzzes again in my hand, but I don't look. I can't. It feels like if I look, it'll be another nail hammered in. I can only hear Matthew's voice from that audio clip echoing in my skull with a calm cruelty that makes my skin crawl. She'll take the fall. She always does. And as the man gestures down the hall, inviting me into a private room, I realize the trap isn't coming. It's already closed. The private room is a little office that smells like printer toner and lemon wipes. The chair they point me to is plastic, the kind that squeals when you shift like it doesn't want you to get comfortable. The patient services guy sits across from me with his tablet and his polite face. Nina stands behind my shoulder, arms crossed. I can feel her heat there, like a guard dog pretending to be a cardigan. He asks for my full name. I give it. He asks for my address. I give it. Each answer feels like I'm handing him pieces of myself, like he's stacking them neatly into a file with my face on the front. Your name is associated with an online fundraiser, he says. Can you explain your role? My tongue sticks to the roof of my mouth. I glance down at my hands and hate how small they look, how harmless, how easy to blame. I didn't start it, I say. My voice comes out hoarse. My husband did. He handles the finances. He makes a little sound, neutral but not kind. Do you have access to the account? No. Have you ever logged in? No. Did you authorize anyone to use your name as organizer? No. The questions keep coming in a smooth line, like he's pulling thread. And with each one, I feel the knot inside me tighten. He slides a printed page toward me, a form, my name at the top, a signature at the bottom. It looks like mine. It looks enough like mine that my stomach drops anyway. My vision blurs at the edges. I lean closer and the room seems to tilt. The ink is too dark. The loops are too clean. The T-crosses are too straight. Whoever copied me didn't copy the way my hand shakes when I'm tired. Didn't copy the little impatient slash I do when I'm signing something fast. It's not mine, I whisper. He watches me carefully. It matches the signature on your ID documents. It matches because someone tried to match it, I snap, and the anger makes my throat sting. That's not how I sign. Not like that. Nina's hand lands lightly on my shoulder, a silent, keep it together. The man's expression doesn't change, but the air in the room thickens. We also have records of transfers, he says, funds moving out. Out? My voice cracks. Out to where? He looks down at his tablet. Multiple recipients, he says, including a personal account with initials matching yours. My chest compresses like someone wrapped a belt around it and pulled. That's not... I start, but the words tangle. My mouth goes dry. My heart is hammering so fast it feels like it's hitting bone. Nina leans forward. You're accusing her, she says flatly, without even verifying the basics. We're not accusing, he says quickly. We're clarifying, but we do need... A knock interrupts. The door opens and a woman steps in. Hospital administration, I can tell by her badge and her calm face. She glances at me, then at the man. Sorry, she says, there's been a call from an external investigator. They'd like to speak to her directly. My stomach drops again. External. This isn't just hospital paperwork. This is real world. The administration woman turns to me, voice gentle like she's talking to a child. It's probably routine, she says. But we need you to... Routine. That word again. Like my whole life is just a form you fill out and hand back. Something breaks inside me, quiet, but final. I feel it in my ribs, a crack, a shift, a cold clarity sliding into place. I look at the printed page again, the fake signature, the neat letters. My name typed like a label, and suddenly I'm back in my kitchen 2 months ago holding my feverish child. Matthew's voice smooth, impatient. Just sign here. I already read it. It's fine. I can see his finger tapping the line like he's directing traffic. I can feel the exhaustion in my bones, the desperation to get back to my child, to stop the crying, to stop the night from swallowing us. I signed. I didn't read. I let him. I let him because I was tired and I wanted to believe the man I married wouldn't build a trap out of my trust. I swallow, and this time it doesn't feel like swallowing a rock. It feels like swallowing fire. I want copies, I say. The man blinks. Excuse me? Copies of everything, I repeat, and my voice surprises me with how steady it is. Every form, every record you're using. I'm not answering anything else without seeing it all. Nina's hand squeezes my shoulder, proud and fierce. The man hesitates. I'm not running, I say, and my eyes lock on his. But I'm not confessing to something I didn't do. The administration woman's expression shifts. Tiny, but I catch it. Respect or maybe relief. Maybe she's seen too many women fold. They leave the room to make arrangements. The door clicks shut, and the silence that follows is so thick I can hear the blood rushing in my ears. Nina exhales hard. Okay, she says. You did good. My hands are still trembling, but the trembling feels different now. Not helpless, charged. I feel like I'm going to pass out, I whisper. Nina crouches in front of me, eyes level with mine. Look at me, she says. You are not crazy. You are not guilty. You are not alone. My throat tightens. Tears burn behind my eyes, but I blink them back because I refuse to give this room anything. I should have read it, I whisper. Nina's face softens. You were a mother with a sick kid and a sick husband, she says. You were surviving. I swallow, and this time a tear breaks loose anyway, hot on my cheek. I wipe it off fast, angry at myself for the wetness. My phone buzzes. My whole body flinches. I pull it out, and my heart stutters when I see the name. Evan. I stare at it like it's a second trap, like if I answer, I'll fall into a different kind of ruin. Nina's eyebrows lift. Answer, she says. You need information, not pride. I press accept, but I keep my voice low. What? There's a pause on the other end, and then Evan's voice, rougher than usual. You okay? The concern in his tone hits me like a bruise. My chest aches. I hate him for sounding human right now. I hate myself for wanting to lean into it. No, I say, I'm not okay. Someone's using my name. Someone sent me an audio clip of Matthew saying I'll take the fall. A sharp inhale on the other end. I know, Evan says. I got something too. My stomach clenches. What do you mean you got something? A message, he says, from a number that looked like yours. It said you were going to come clean and blame me for everything. My skin goes ice cold. That wasn't me, I say immediately, voice rising. Evan, that wasn't... I know, he cuts in. I know because the wording was wrong. You don't talk like that, and because... I saw someone hovering near my car yesterday, someone I recognized. My throat tightens. Who? Another pause. I can hear him breathing, fast. Laura, he says finally. Matthew's sister. My stomach drops so hard it feels like my organs shift. She doesn't even know me, I whisper. She does now, Evan says. His voice lowers. Listen, I didn't want to drag you into more mess, but this isn't just Matthew. They're watching. They're trying to set the narrative before you can speak. My mouth goes dry. My fingertips tingle. Why are you calling me? I ask, harsh, because fear always comes out as anger in me. Why now? Because I didn't send that first message, he says, but I think I know who did. The unknown messenger, someone he shut down once. My pulse hammers. Who? I demand. Not over the phone, Evan says quickly. I don't trust it. Meet me. Somewhere public. Nina is watching my face like she can read the whole conversation off my skin. I cover the microphone. He says, meet, I whisper. Nina's eyes narrow. Where? I uncover the phone. Where? Evan exhales. The cafe across from the hospital, the one with the big windows. 10 minutes. My stomach knots. My mind screams, don't do it. Don't be seen. Don't add fuel. But another part of me, harder now, says, information is oxygen. And right now, I'm suffocating. Fine, I say, and my voice shakes just a little. 10 minutes. I hang up, and my hands immediately start shaking harder. Nina stands. We're not going alone, she says. I let out a short laugh that sounds like it hurts. I don't think I'm allowed to go anywhere alone anymore. We leave the little office, and the hallway feels different now. Every person we pass feels like a witness. Every security camera feels like an eye. As we walk, my phone lights up again. Another text from Matthew. Are you causing trouble? People are asking questions. My blood heats. I type back before I can stop myself. People are asking questions because my name is on your fundraiser. Why? The typing dots appear, disappear. Appear again, slower this time, like he's savoring it. Then, you're emotional. Don't do this here. Come home. We'll talk. Come home. Like home is safe. Like home isn't where he taught me to sign without reading, where he trained my hands to move when he pointed. Nina sees the text. Her mouth tightens. He's trying to isolate you, she says. Home means alone with him. No witnesses, no records, just his voice filling the room until I doubt my own memory. I swallow, and the swallow tastes like iron. We cross the lobby, and the automatic doors whoosh open. Cold air hits my face. For a second, it's like stepping out of water. The outside sounds are too sharp. Cars, horns, people talking. The cafe is across the street, glass front, warm lights. I can see silhouettes moving inside. Normal people, normal days. My hands are still shaking, but my feet keep moving. Halfway across the crosswalk, Nina grabs my sleeve. Look, she murmurs. I follow her gaze. Laura is standing near the entrance of the hospital, phone at her ear, watching us with that same polite smile she used earlier. My stomach twists. She lifts her hand and gives a tiny wave. Sweet, friendly, like we're not in the middle of my life being dismantled. My skin crawls. Nina's voice is low. She wants you to see her. I nod once. My throat is tight, but my mind is clear in a way it hasn't been in months. Fine, let her watch. Let them all watch. Because I'm done being the woman who takes the fall without even knowing she's falling. The cafe smells like burnt espresso and sweet bread, and it makes my stomach lurch because it's too normal. Warm lights, a couple laughing over a phone, a barista calling out someone's name like the world isn't cracking open across the street. Nina and I choose a table near the window like Evan asked. I sit with my back half turned to the hospital anyway, like I can't stand the feeling of that building breathing on me. My skin still feels watched. Laura's wave keeps replaying in my mind, small and cheerful, like she's already certain I'm done. My phone sits on the table between my hands. I keep touching it. Not scrolling, not texting, just touching, like it's a live wire and I'm making sure it's still there. Evan shows up 10 minutes later, just like he said. He's wearing the same jacket he always wears when he's nervous, the one with the fraying cuff. His hair is damp, like he ran a hand through it too many times. He pauses when he sees Nina, a flicker of something in his eyes. Surprise, relief, maybe dread. He slides into the chair opposite me. For a second, I can't look at him. The last time I saw him, I was ending us. I was forcing myself to be good. Now, seeing him feels like stepping into a room where I left something burning. Hey, he says quietly. I force my eyes up. His face looks drawn, tired, not guilty tired, afraid tired. Don't hate me, I say, and my voice comes out sharper than I meant. My hands are still shaking and it makes me angry, so I lash at what's closest. Evan flinches a little but doesn't pull back. Okay, he says. Fair? Nina doesn't waste time. Tell of her what you know, she says. Evan glances at me again, then reaches into his pocket and pulls out his phone. He turns it toward me. A screenshot. A message thread. The top message is from a number saved as my name. It's not my number, but the name hits me anyway like a slap. I read the text. I'm done lying. Evan made me do it. He's been pressuring me. I'm telling Matthew everything. He'll tell the police. You'll pay. My throat tightens so hard it hurts to breathe. That wasn't me, I say immediately. I know, Evan says fast. I know, I didn't believe it. Not really, but then he swipes to another image. A photo, grainy, taken from a distance. A car. Evan's car, and in the reflection of the windshield, a woman's face. Laura. My stomach drops again, but this time something else rises with it. Cold disgust. Like I just saw what's under the pretty skin. She was near my car, Evan says, voice low. Yesterday. I came out of work late, and I saw her across the lot, just standing there like she was waiting for someone. When she saw me look, she smiled, like we were friends. My skin crawls. Why? I whisper. Why are they dragging you into this? Evan's jaw tightens. Because you're the weak point, he says, and I'm the easiest villain. Nina makes a small, angry sound. Of course. Evan leans forward, elbows on the table. Listen, he says, and his voice drops even lower. The first message you got? The one about the charity fund? I nod, my throat too tight for words. I didn't send it, he says again, like he needs me to tattoo it onto my brain. But I think it came from someone who used to work with Matthew. My heart stutters. Who? Evan hesitates. His eyes flick toward the window, toward the hospital, toward Laura's territory. Her name is Syra, he says finally. She used to manage some of the outreach stuff for Matthew's charity dinners. Scheduling, emails, donor lists, that kind of thing. The name doesn't ring a bell at first, then, like a light flicking on, I remember a woman at a fundraiser event last year. Dark hair pulled back, sharp eyes. She handed me a glass of water when I was pregnant and nauseous, and she looked at Matthew like she was trying to see through him. What happened to her? I ask. Evan's mouth twists. Matthew shut her down, he says. That's the phrase he used. Shut down like she was a machine. Nina's eyes narrow. How? She started asking questions, Evan says, about where money was going, about why donor receipts didn't match what was posted online, about why some expenses were weird. He glances at me. Matthew's not dumb. He's careful, but he's also arrogant. Arrogant. That word fits like a glove. Evan continues. He made it look like she messed up, like she was stealing. Then he got her pushed out. She lost her job. People whispered. My stomach turns. I can almost hear it happening. The polite smiles, the murmured, such a shame, the way people in town decide someone is dirty and never wash their hands of it. So she's warning me, I say, and my voice shakes because the story suddenly has a shape. She's trying to stop him from doing it again. Evan nods slowly. That's what I think. Nina taps the table with her finger, rapid. Do you have her contact? Evan hesitates. Not directly, he says. But I can get it. My chest tightens. Get it, I say, now, please. Evan nods, thumb already moving on his screen. While he searches, I stare out the cafe window at the hospital across the street. The glass reflects my own face faintly, layered over the building. I look like a ghost haunting the place where I used to be someone's rock. My phone buzzes again. Another email. Another donation receipt. Another person's name, another organizer, me. My fingers curl into a fist so tight my nails bite skin. Okay, Nina says, watching my face. We need a plan. The word plan lands inside me with a weird kind of relief. Plans are solid. Plans are something you can hold. I inhale slowly. The smell of coffee is sour, but it's grounding. First, I say, surprising myself with how clear my voice sounds. I need my child safe. Nina nods. Yes. My baby's with my mom right now, I say, and my throat tightens at the thought of my mom's tired hands, her quiet worry she tries to hide behind cooking and prayers. But Matthew knows where she lives. Nina's eyes harden. He won't go there, she says, but it sounds like she's trying to convince herself as much as me. I shake my head. He won't go there himself, I whisper. He'll send someone. He'll call. He'll make it sound like an emergency. Evan's phone is still in his hand. He looks up. What if you don't go home, he says carefully. The suggestion hangs between us like smoke. My chest tightens. My mind flashes to my house, the front door, the photos on the wall, the small indent in the couch where Matthew always sits, the drawer where he keeps the mail. My home feels like a stage now, like a place built for him to perform. I can stay with Nina, I say quietly. The words taste strange, like defeat and courage mixed together. Nina nods once, firm. You can. You will. Evan finds something and turns his phone toward me. A contact page, a name, a number, Syra. My fingers tremble as I stare at it. This feels like stepping into a new story, one where I'm not just reacting, one where I'm choosing. I don't call yet. My throat is too tight, my hands are too shaky. I'm afraid my voice will give me away, afraid she'll hear my fear and think I'm not worth the risk. Nina sees my hesitation. Text first, she says. Simple, safe. I nod and take Evan's phone for a second to copy the number into mine. My heart is pounding like I'm about to commit a crime. It's ridiculous. It's also real. I open a new message. My thumbs hover. Hi. I think you tried to warn me. My name is on a charity account I didn't open. Please. If you can talk, I need help. I stare at the words for a second, then hit send. The moment it leaves my phone, my stomach drops. Like I just threw a bottle into the ocean and now I'm waiting to see if anything swims toward it. Evan's knee bounces under the table. Nina watches the door like she expects someone to walk in at any second. We sit there in a tight silence until my phone buzzes. A reply. 2 lines. Don't say anything out loud, not in public. He's not as sick as he pretends. My skin goes cold so fast it feels like my bones are sweating. I read it again, slower. He's not as sick as he pretends. A memory slams into me, small, almost nothing at the time. 2 weeks ago I came home early from grocery shopping because I forgot my wallet. I opened the door quietly and I heard something upstairs. A thud. A quick step. Then Matthew's voice, strained and weak, calling down, Honey, is that you? When I went up, he was in bed, pale, his hand pressed dramatically to his chest. He smiled faintly and said, I must have dozed off. I believed him. Now my stomach turns hard. He's been faking, I whisper, but even whispering feels dangerous. I press my lips together, swallow the words back. Nina leans closer. What? She mouths. I show her the message, her eyes widen, then narrow, furious. I knew it, she whispers back. I knew something was off. Evan looks between us. What's off? He asks. I show him too. He exhales hard, rubbing his face. Jesus, he mutters. My hands are shaking again, but the shaking has a different flavor now. Not just fear, a terrible, sharp clarity. If Matthew is exaggerating his illness, then everything makes sense in a twisted way. The sympathy, the money, the control, the way he keeps people close and afraid to question him because he's sick. And then the worst thought slips in, slick as oil. If he can pretend to be weaker than he is, he can pretend to be anything. He can pretend to be the victim while he sets me up. Nina's voice is low, urgent. Okay, she says, we do this right. Quiet, lawful evidence. Quiet, lawful evidence. Those words feel like armor. My mind starts moving, fast and focused. I need to change my passwords, I say. Everything. Email, banking, social media. Anything he could get into. Nina nods. We'll do it tonight. I need copies of those fundraiser records, I say. The hospital man said he'd get them, but I can't trust them to hand me everything. Nina's eyes flicker with something calculating. I can pull some internal receipts, she says quietly. Not supposed to, but I'm done caring what I'm supposed to do, I say, and my voice surprises me again. It comes out steady, meaner. Like a new part of me woke up. Evan leans us in. I can get screenshots of the fundraiser page, he says, the posts, the comments, anything that shows your name. My phone buzzes again, this time a text from Matthew. Where are you? Answer me. My stomach tightens. The old instinct is to soothe him, to make him calm, to stop the storm. I stare at the text until the letters blur. Nina watches me. Don't, she whispers. Evan's eyes are on my phone too, his jaw tight. I type slowly, choosing each word like it's a stone I'm placing in a wall. I'm dealing with the questions about the fundraiser. I'm getting copies. We'll talk after. I hit send. My heart slams once, hard. The reply comes almost instantly. Stop. You're embarrassing me. Embarrassing him. The rage rises so hot I taste it. My hands tremble around the phone. Nina reaches out and covers my phone with her hand, gently, like she's putting a lid on a pot that's about to boil over. Not now, she whispers. He wants you to explode. He wants you to look unstable. I inhale. Slow. The cafe air tastes like coffee and sugar and the faint, metallic edge of fear. Sarah's message sits on my screen like a lit match. He's not as sick as he pretends. I text back, thumbs moving quickly. What proof do you have? The reply takes a minute. My pulse pounds in my ears while I wait. Then, I saw him walking at night. No cane, no shaking. He noticed me watching. Next day, I was under review. My skin prickles, a chill runs down my spine, and I look toward the hospital again. Through the glass, the building looks calm, indifferent, like it can swallow any truth and keep shining. Nina reads it over my shoulder. "We need someone inside," she whispers. I think of the nurse from earlier, the one who stood between me and Matthew like a door, the one who said policy like it was a shield. And then I remember a different nurse, blunt eyes, short hair, the one who once handed me a cup of water and said, "Don't let him charm you when you're tired." "Tara," my stomach tightens. "I know someone," I whisper. Nina nods immediately, like she doesn't need details. Then we get her. I stare at the hospital one more time, and in the reflection on the cafe glass, my face looks steadier than it feels. I'm not going home tonight. I'm not walking into his trap with my hands empty. If Matthew wants me to take the fall, he's going to have to work harder, because for the first time in a long time, I'm not carrying his weight quietly. I'm picking it up with both hands, and I'm about to throw it back. Nina's apartment smells like laundry detergent and garlic. It's such a normal, lived-in smell that it makes my eyes sting the second I step inside, like my body finally realizes it can't keep pretending everything is fine. I kick off my shoes and stand there in the entryway like I don't know where to put myself, like the ground is different here, like I'm waiting for someone to tell me I'm allowed to exist. Nina locks the door behind us. I hear the click, then the extra deadbolt. That sound lands deep in my chest, safety shaped like metal. Evan doesn't come in. He stands outside for a second, hands shoved into his pockets, and then he says, "Text me if you need anything." His eyes flick over my face like he's trying to memorize it, like he's afraid the next time he sees me, I'll be a different person. "Okay," I say, because I don't have room in my mouth for anything else. When the door closes, the apartment feels quiet in a way the hospital never does. No beeping, no squeaking shoes, no controlled voices, just my breathing and the thud of my heart, still too fast. Nina motions me toward her couch. "Sit," she says. I sit. My body sinks into the cushions like it's been waiting for this all day. My shoulders ache. My neck aches. My jaw aches from clenching. Nina stands in front of me and holds out her hand. "Phone," she says. I blink. "Why?" "Because you're going to react to him," she says bluntly. "End reaction is what he feeds on. Give it to me for 10 minutes. My fingers curl tighter around my phone automatically. The idea of not holding it makes me feel naked, like the only weapon I have is being taken away. Then my phone buzzes in my hand again. Another text from Matthew. "You left, again. Everyone sees what kind of wife you are." The heat that rises in me is instant and vicious. My vision narrows, my throat goes tight. Nina's hand is still there, waiting. I exhale through my nose and hand her the phone like it's burning me. Nina sets it face down on the counter like it's a bad luck charm. "Good," she says. "Now we work." Work, that word steadies me. We spread out at her small kitchen table like we're planning a heist. Except the thing we're stealing back is my name. Nina pulls out her laptop. The keyboard clicks fast under her fingers. Evan texts her screenshots of the fundraiser page, the posts, the comments, my face in the banner photo, my name in the organizer line, the heart emojis from neighbors who think they're donating to a saint. Each screenshot feels like a slap. Nina opens a document and starts listing dates. "Timeline," she says. "We need a timeline that doesn't depend on feelings, only facts." Facts. I cling to facts like a rope. I give her what I can remember. The day Matthew first posted the fundraiser, the day he told me to sign insurance paperwork, the day the donation receipts started hitting my email, Nina asks, "Do you have access to the email he used for the fundraiser?" I shake my head. "He always used mine," I say, and the words taste like stupidity. Or he said it was easier because donors trust family. Nina's mouth tightens. Of course he did. She has me open my email on her laptop. I scroll through receipts until my fingers go numb. There are more than I realized. Small donations, large donations, names I know, names I don't. My chest tightens as I see the total amounts add up. The generosity of people who thought they were helping a sick man. And my name sitting right in the middle of it, like a signature on a lie. Nina starts downloading the emails into a folder, saving copies, taking screenshots, marking dates. "Okay," she says, "now passwords." We go through it like surgery. Email first, then bank, then social media. Nina makes me turn on two-factor authentication. She writes down recovery codes on paper and puts them in her desk drawer like she's guarding gold. My hands shake less while we do it. My mind goes quieter, focused on tasks. It feels like the only way to keep from drowning. Halfway through, my phone buzzes again on the counter. I can hear it even from across the room. It's like Matthew is in the apartment with us, tapping his nails against the wall. Nina doesn't pick it up. She keeps typing, but my body reacts anyway. My stomach tightens, my breath catches, my skin prickles. I hate that he still has that kind of access to me without even being here. Nina finishes a password change and finally flips my phone over just enough to see the screen. "Call," she says. Not Matthew. Unknown number, my blood chills. I look at Nina and she nods like she already knows. "Answer," she whispers. "Speaker." My fingers feel stiff as I pick up the phone. I swipe to accept. "Hello?" A woman's voice this time. Low, controlled, tired. "This is Sarah," she says. My whole body goes still. My hands start shaking again, but the shaking feels reverent, like I'm holding something fragile. My voice breaks. I clear my throat. "Thank you for messaging me." Sarah exhales softly, like she's been waiting to hear my voice and confirm I'm real. "You don't have much time," she says. "He'll notice you moved." My throat tightens. "How?" "He checks everything," she says flat. "Logins, receipts, notifications. He's obsessed with control." A cold shiver slides down my spine because that sounds exactly like Matthew. The way he used to check my phone bills for budgeting, the way he wanted receipts for everything I bought, even groceries. "What do you know?" I ask. My voice is quiet, but my chest is roaring. Sarah pauses, then says, "I know he's been doing this for a long time, longer than you think." My stomach twists. "Using my name?" "Yes," she says, "but also using other people's names. You're not the first. You're just the best cover because you're his wife. Because people trust you." I press my fingers to my forehead. My skin is cold with sweat. "Why are you helping me?" I whisper. Sarah laughs once, bitter. "Because he did it to me," she says. "He made me look like a thief. He told people I was unstable. He said I was angry and emotional. Sound familiar?" My throat burns. "Yes," I whisper. "I tried to report him," she continues. "No one listened. He had friends, he had church leaders, he had donors who didn't want to believe they were fooled, and he had illness." Her voice hardens. "He wore his illness like armor." My stomach flips. "He's not as sick as he pretends," I say, and hearing it out loud makes it feel even more dangerous. Sarah goes quiet for a second. Then, "He's sick," she says, "but he exaggerates, he performs, he times it." My skin prickles. "How do you know?" "I saw him," she says simply. "Walking at night in the hospital, no cane, no limp. He was laughing with someone." Her voice tightens. "When he saw me, his whole face changed, like a mask dropped and snapped back on." My breath catches. "Who was he with?" Nina asks suddenly, leaning closer to the phone. Sayara pauses. "A man," she says. "Older. Suits. He wasn't hospital staff. He looked like one of the community board types, the ones who clap at dinners." My mind flashes to the community leader who always posted photos with Matthew at charity events, smiling wide. The man who called Matthew a fighter. The man whose wife hugged me and told me I was so strong. My stomach turns hard. I grip the phone tighter. Sarah continues. I have copies, she says. Not everything, but enough. I saved donor lists, emails, screenshots of where funds were directed. I saved them because I knew he would try to erase me. My heart pounds. Can you send them? I whisper. I can, she says. But you need to understand. If you expose him, he will try to burn you down completely. My throat tightens. Tears sting behind my eyes again, but this time they feel like anger, not weakness. He's already trying, I say. Sarah's voice softens just slightly. Then you need to stop thinking like a wife, she says. Start thinking like a witness. The word witness lands in my chest like a stone, heavy, real. Nina nods at me, eyes fierce. What do I do? I ask. Syra exhales. You gather proof. That doesn't depend on my word, she says. You need hospital logs, visitor restrictions, the times he requested things. You need proof he restricted you right after you got the warning. That shows intent. My skin prickles because it matches what Tara hinted at earlier. Hospital logs, restrictions, weird timing. Tara, I whisper, almost to myself. Nina hears it. I'll call her, she says, already moving. Sarah keeps going. And you need to protect your child, she says. He will threaten custody. He will suggest you're unfit. He will use the affair if he knows. The word affair hits like a punch. My stomach drops. I swallow hard. He might, I whisper, but he doesn't have proof. Proof doesn't matter, Sarah says. Only story. He'll craft one. My hands shake. My chest aches with shame and rage tangled together. I picture my child's face. I picture someone trying to take them from me because Matthew needs a shield. The thought makes something inside me go cold. Okay, I say, and my voice sounds strange, flat, determined. Okay, I'm not playing his story anymore. Sarah is quiet for a beat, and then she says, Good. Nina returns, phone pressed to her ear, whispering to someone. Tara, maybe. Her eyes flick to me, and she nods once. Meet me tomorrow, Sarah says. In person. I'll bring what I have. Public place, cameras, daylight. Where? I ask. She gives an address, just a simple cafe name not far from downtown. I'll be there, I say, and my voice doesn't wobble. Sarah pauses. One more thing, she says. My stomach tightens. He's going to call you, she says, soon, and he'll sound soft, regretful. He'll pretend he's scared. He'll say he needs you. He'll say you're the only one who understands him. My throat burns because I can already hear Matthew's gentle voice in my head, the one he uses when he wants to pull me back in. Don't go, Sarah says quietly. Don't go alone. Don't go at all, if you can help it. I won't, I say, and I mean it. The call ends. The silence that follows is huge. I set my phone down, slowly, like it might explode. My hands are shaking, but my mind feels like it's sharpening into a blade. Nina comes back to the table. Tara will meet us, she says. Tonight, after her shift. My chest tightens. What if she won't help? I ask. Nina's eyes harden. She will, she says. Because she hates men like him, only. I swallow. The apartment suddenly feels too small for the rage building inside me. I stand and walk to the window, staring out at the streetlights. The glass is cold under my palm. I think about the woman I was 2 months ago, signing papers in pajamas, trusting the man who said he'd handle everything. I think about the woman I was 3 days ago, ending an affair and convincing myself I could wash my guilt away by going back. And I think about the woman I am now, standing in Nina's apartment with my name tied to a fraud, my husband watching me like prey. My phone buzzes again. This time, Nina doesn't stop me from looking. It's Matthew calling. My heart slams, my stomach tightens, my mouth goes dry. I let it ring once, twice. Then I answer, but I don't put it on speaker. I press it to my ear like a secret. Hello? His voice comes soft, almost shaky. Where are you? There it is, the softness, the hook. I stare at the dark window, my reflection faint in it. My face looks older than it should. I'm safe, I say carefully. A pause. A small sigh that sounds practiced. I'm scared, he says. They're asking me questions. They said your name is on things and... His voice catches. I didn't want to worry you. My stomach twists with disgust because it's so close to convincing, so close to the old Matthew who could make me feel like I was his whole world. You didn't want to worry me, I repeat, slow. No, he whispers. I need you. Please, come home. We can sort it out together. Come home. My fingers curl against the window. In my mind, I see Cyrus' text. Witness. Not wife. Witness. I inhale slowly, letting the air fill my chest, letting it steady me. No, I say. The silence on the line is sharp. Matthew's voice changes, tiny shift like a smile slipping. What do you mean, no? I mean, I'm not coming, I say, and my voice is calm in a way that scares even me. Not tonight. Not alone. His breath is audible. You're being dramatic. I almost laugh. The audacity is so familiar it feels like home, and that makes my skin crawl. I have copies of the receipts, I say quietly. I have your fundraiser page screenshots, and I have an audio clip of your voice. The silence that follows is not soft. It's deadly. When Matthew speaks again, the softness is gone. His voice is low, controlled. Who have you been talking to? He asks. My heart pounds, but I keep my voice steady. People who know what you did, I say, a pause. Then, very softly, very carefully, if you do this, you'll expose yourself too. My stomach drops. The affair, custody, shame. He's holding it like a knife just out of sight. I press my tongue to my teeth, tasting my own fear, and I let it sit there without letting it drive me. I'm not the one who put my name on a charity account, I say. You did. He exhales. I can almost hear him recalculating. You think you're clever, he says, but you're emotional. You always have been. My throat tightens, but I don't bite. I don't defend myself. I don't give him the argument he wants. I'm hanging up now, I say. You hang up on me, he says, voice sharpening, and you'll regret it. My hand trembles, but I do it anyway. I end the call. The silence in the apartment is thick, but it's mine. My chest rises and falls hard. My hands are shaking so badly I have to press them together. Nina steps behind me. What did he say? She asks. I turn and my eyes burn. He threatened me, I whisper. Nina's jaw clenches. Good, she says softly. Let him. Good. The word hits me like a strange comfort. Because a man doesn't threaten you when he's innocent. He threatens you when he's cornered, and for the first time, I feel it. Deep in my bones, deep in the place where fear used to live. He's cornered, not enough yet, but soon. Tara meets us outside Nina's building, still in scrubs. Hair pulled back so tight it makes her cheekbones look sharper. She doesn't smile when she sees me. She looks at me the way you look at a bruise you didn't mean to touch. You're the wife, she says. My throat tightens at the word. Wife. Like a roll. Like a collar. I am. I answer anyway. Tara nods once, like she's checking a box. Okay, I can't stay long. Nina keeps her voice low. We need the hospital logs, anything about visitation restrictions, anything showing timing. Tara's eyes flick toward the street like she expects someone to step out of the shadows and say her name. You're playing with a man who's protected, she mutters. I'm playing with a man who used my name, I say. My voice shakes just a little, but it doesn't break. He's trying to make me look like a thief. Tara's jaw tightens. I know. That I know hits me like a shove. I stare at her. How? She exhales, slow, like she's tired of carrying other people's secrets. Because he's not the first patient to use illness like a weapon, she says. And he's not even subtle if you're paying attention. My skin prickles. You saw him, I whisper. Tara's eyes don't move. I saw him walking, she says. Night shift. He thought everyone was asleep. He moved like a man who's tired, not a man who can't. No cane, no shaking hands, just normal. She pauses, then adds, he noticed me noticing. Next day he requested a different nurse. A chill runs down my spine. Nina leans in. Can you get the logs? Tara's mouth twists like she hates herself for what she's about to say. I can't pull official records and hand them to you, she says. but I can tell you what I saw, and I can tell you what he requested and when, and if someone official asks me, I won't lie. My chest loosens a fraction. Relief feels weird in my body now, like I forgot what it's supposed to feel like. Tara looks straight at me. He requested no visitors right after you showed up today, she says, and he didn't request it for his sister. My stomach tightens. So he wanted me blocked, I whisper, but not Laura. Tara nods once. Exactly. Nina's voice is calm, but I can hear the anger underneath it. That helps with intent. Intent, another word that feels like armor. Tara's gaze shifts to me again, and for a second I see something human in her face. Something that isn't just nurse and policy and rules. You have a kid? She asks. Yes, I say. The word catches in my throat like it's made of glass. Then don't go home, Tara says, blunt. Not yet. He'll try to talk you into it. He'll try to scare you into it. And if he can't do either, he'll try to embarrass you. The heat rises behind my eyes again, but this time it doesn't spill. I hold it. I hold it because my child needs me steady. Nina's hand slides into mine and squeezes. Tara steps back, already looking like she wants to disappear into her own life again. If you're going to do this, she says quietly, do it clean. Facts, paper, dates, people who can repeat the same story without shaking. I swallow. I'm shaking, I admit. Tara's gaze sharpens. Shake later, she says. Right now, you move. She turns and walks away, scrubs rustling, shoes scuffing the pavement. When she's gone, Nina and I stand in the warm night air, and my phone feels heavy in my pocket even though it isn't buzzing, like it's waiting, like Matthew is waiting. I press my palm to my stomach, trying to feel my own center again. I think about Syra, sitting somewhere with proof tucked away like a weapon she's been forced to carry. I think about Laura's polite smile and how it looked like a blade under frosting. I think about Matthew's soft voice on the phone. Come home. Like home is a place and not a trap. And I think about what it means to be a witness instead of a wife. The truth is, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of Evan. I'm ashamed of my silence. I'm ashamed of how easily I signed papers because I was tired and wanted the night to end. But I'm more ashamed of how close I came to letting Matthew write the ending for me. I won't let him, not for my child, not for my name, not for the version of me that used to believe love meant swallowing pain quietly. So if you're still here with me, if you've ever been the person everyone expects to take it, just because you've always taken it, stay. Because next, in daylight, with cameras and witnesses and a table between us, I'm going to sit across from the woman he shut down, and I'm going to learn exactly how to shut him down back.